Greensboro, what have you done?
It's time for the Chris Meadows Show. Greensboro, Summerfield, Jamestown, Oak Ridge, Stokesdale, and all of Guilford County. Get ready. Chris Meadows is coming to you live right now.
Good day, my friends. Welcome to the Chris Meadows Show. On today's episode, we ask, Greensboro, what have you done? Or more like it, what have you not done? Only 21% voted in this past week's election. So we know that 79% of you did not vote. I don't understand. Greensboro has some interesting things coming in the future, and I would suggest that they are not very good. This podcast has and is focused on the political happenings of Guilford County, and we'll get to Greensboro in detail in just a minute. But around the rest of the county, at least right leaning folks got out to vote. Oak Ridge will remain a red town, if you will, led by mostly conservatives and right leaning people. Summerfield has another Republican mayor and Republican town council, which we all applaud. And I know the folks that were elected in both Oak Ridge and Summerfield. And I think those towns are uh, in good hands. Stokesdale will remain a red town. Um, it's like the most red in Guilford County, and we love that. They don't even charge property taxes in Stokesdale. They only pay Guilford County property taxes. So maybe some folks will be moving to Stokesdale. And so that's not to say that they didn't have some challenges from the crazy left. They did. And just that's a hint for the future that Republicans need to get out to vote in those towns to stop the leftists from trying to take over our last refuge of red areas in Guilford County. Now on to Greensboro. I heard an interesting quote, which we've probably all heard before. This talks about action versus inaction as it pertains to most anything we do. Uh, by taking no action, you receive what you deserve, and that certainly applies to voting. And we will see how not voting in Greensboro will screw us all, basically. And we don't have all the numbers yet as to how many voters from each party turned out, but it's likely very close to the overall percentage of voters, roughly 21%, 21.5%, I believe, um, of the registered voters in Guilford County turned out. That is pathetic. It's better than what happened in the primary, but that's worse than pathetic. So, Republicans and conservatives in Guilford County, where were you? What happened to you? Um, you just sat on the couch, I guess. You don't care about crime. You don't care about the higher taxes that are definitely coming in 2026, late 2026. So, what the hell were you doing? Because you certainly were not voting. I guess modern day Republicans in Guilford County don't mind paying really high taxes. We're supposed to be the party of low taxes and low crime, yet you didn't turn out. And Greensboro is already a high crime city, high tax city. It's going to get worse on both counts. So the poor people in Greensboro, and I mean financially poor, not poor because you're unfortunate to live in Greensboro, but the poor folks that in Greensboro that vote for Democrats are about to get screwed and financially screwed, that is. They think they're poor now. Wait until your rent goes up and the cost of everything goes up because of the taxes that this future city council that'll be sworn in a couple months are going to put on you. So if you're not financially well off, your situation is going to get worse. But remember, you voted for it. The poor folks in this city that voted for the Democrats, you voted against your financial interest. You just remember that when your rent goes up because the taxes are going up. So I guess the answer is to quit voting for Democrats. If I was poor, I'd never vote for a Democrat because I know they're going to financially screw me. So I don't know what the disconnect is with the lesser financial people in this world, but you got to wake up, man. I tell you. Good luck with the Democrats taking your money. We're going to take a quick break. Then we'll discuss some of the candidates that will be seated in the Greensboro City Council, and we'll see you in just a minute.
You're listening to The Chris Meadows Show. Join us on YouTube, Facebook, and Spotify at The Chris Meadows Show.
Welcome back. So we're going to talk about the candidates that were elected this past week in Greensboro and what you have to look forward to. The future mayor will be Mary Kay Abuzader. I guess I said that right. I think I did. She's been on the city council for quite a while, and I guess we could have gotten worse if someone else was in the primary. I think she was still the wrong candidate. We should have elected Robbie Perkins. He's very smart, experienced, and has a history in politics in Greensboro. The voters missed that one by a long way. So we're going to have a Democrat who, I don't want to be rude, but we could have done better, folks. And we'll see how she turns out. But she's not known for being very strong willed. She caves in a lot and has as a member of the city council. She goes along to get along. For those that will be raking leaves this weekend, you elected her. She was the one who led the In the Leaf pickup program that our taxes pay for. Our taxes went up, but we lost services, and you can blame her. But hey, most people voted for her. So you vote for what you get. Remember that. Now, the at-large candidates that won, Hugh Holston and Denise Roth, seem to be relatively reasonable. They are Democrats, so they're going to support some of the nonsensical things that and issues that just don't make sense and help cities at all. They're one of them's kind of lefty, so I don't know what to make of those two. We'll see. The incumbent there is Hugh Holston. He's sort of like Mary Kay, goes along to get along. Not real strong, not much of a backbone. We'll see how he stands up to the radical activists that we'll talk about in a minute that were elected. I don't have a whole lot of confidence in him, but I guess we'll see if he actually has a set, if you know what I mean. The third person that was elected at large is a radical activist, community organizer, and he wants to do away with the police. Crime is already bad enough in Greensboro, and you want to get rid of the police. I've heard him speak not impressed at all. Um, Again, a big mistake. We had an opportunity to elect Richard Beard, business-minded person here in Greensboro, smart guy. I don't know what voters were thinking, and why people didn't turn out. Why 79% of the voters did not turn out. It just does not make sense. So we move on to the districts 1 through 5. As I've said over the last few episodes, districts 1 and 2, they're lost, completely lost. Um, Radical activists, again, they really don't care about anything except what race you are. That's just no way to lead and govern. It's ridiculous. So districts 1 and 2 are gone. I feel sorry for people that live in those districts. But hey, you voted for these two people, and when your rent goes up or your mortgage goes up, your expenses go up, you can blame those two council people in districts 1 and 2. And along with that, you can blame the new council person in District 3, also a radical activist. Um, they just, they're really not very bright people. They have no business experience whatsoever. Uh, I don't know if they've had jobs in the past or what they've done for a living except suck off the government teat. Um, but that was a big surprise. I can't believe people in District 3 voted for her, period. But they did. And the city has lost out on a longstanding councilman that's been there and done a good job for Greensboro, in my opinion. But District 3, what happened, people? What happened? Um, District 4, a liberal attorney was elected. District 4, you had a great opportunity to elect uh, a 40-year citizen of Greensboro, has had business here for 40 years. Nikki Smith, nice guy, smart guy, and you opted for another far left liberal. It just does not make sense. And a lot of the people that live in District 4 um, live in very affluent areas, and you decided to go with someone who will probably vote to raise your property taxes. So it just does not make sense. So if you're sensing a little bit of a theme here, um, Greensboro did not do anything logical on Tuesday. You voted against your own financial interests as far as taxes are concerned, and you voted against your safety interest because all the people I've mentioned so far, and it will also apply to District 5, the incumbent did win there. She's been a high tax person, voted for every tax increase, and also is really not friends of the police, if you will. So you have voted in your against your financial interest, and you have voted against your safety interest. So over the next 4 years, this is what Greensboro has to look forward to: higher taxes, higher crime, and we'll see what happens. And with that, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back and talk about 2026. Filing period starts in December. Can you believe it? And we'll touch on that, but we'll be back in just a few minutes.
You're listening to The Chris Meadows Show. Join us on YouTube, Facebook, and Spotify at The Chris Meadows Show.
Welcome back. As I mentioned, going into break, we'll be talking about 2026 and the elections we have to look forward to. Filing begins in mid-December for all races. In Guilford County, we'll have a sheriff's race. Should be interesting. Not sure if we'll have a primary in the Republican Party. Um, but I know we won't have one in the Democrat Party. I don't believe the incumbent is a Democrat who's done a horrendous job. He's run off great people that were career people in the sheriff's department. He was elected initially in 2018, took office in January 2019, and that's when it started going downhill. So we do need to replace the sheriff in Guilford County. He's done a terrible job and lost a lot of good people. Um, One of the Senate races in North Carolina for the state Senate, one of the high profile races will be here in Guilford and Rockingham County. The state Senate District 26 will have a primary in the Republican Party. It should be interesting, and it's already gotten a little nasty, but it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. There's a lot of issues that we need to focus on. I'm afraid the General Assembly is really not taking care of Guilford County very much. They have the ability, the General Assembly does, to stop high taxation. And with Guilford County, along with some other counties across the state, but especially Guilford County, um, we have really high taxes coming. They've already told us that they're going to increase our property tax by about 46, 47%. That's just the county, along with the city taxes that most certainly will be raised with this new city council. People in Guilford County and Greensboro are going to just get uh, screwed financially on their property taxes. The General Assembly can stop it, and they've opted not to. So I'll let you figure that out and who's responsible. But the General Assembly should do their job and stop higher property taxes from hitting the citizens of this county and state, all across the state. The other big race that will make national news is the U.S. Senate race in North Carolina. There is a Republican primary between Michael Watley and Don Brown. Um, I have a feeling I know who's going to win the primary, but Republicans better stick together. That's all there is to it. Um, Support your favorite person in the primary, but when it comes down to it, after it's over, we better get behind the winner and the nominee, or else we're going to be calling Roy Cooper Senator Cooper, and that is a horrendous thought. For anyone right of center, Roy Cooper was a horrible governor. He was a horrible attorney general, and he'll make a horrible senator. Um, I The only person I can think worse than Roy Cooper is Josh Stein, our current governor. Um, they're just two of the same, but we cannot have Senator Roy Cooper. So, Republicans, pay attention and get behind our nominee in March. Um, I encourage everyone to get out and vote, get active. The Democrats are beating us as activists, uh, maybe because a lot of them don't have jobs. I don't know, but we have got to match them, and when we do match them, historically we win. So I want you to think about that. Sit on the couch and watch the Democrats take over, or get out and be active in politics. Make phone calls for your candidates. Knock on doors. Hang door knockers. Put signs out for them. Whatever you need to do. But we got to beat the Democrats in this next cycle. When you don't vote or don't pay attention, or you let the activists beat you on the other side, you see what happens here in Greensboro. It's a 9-0 Democrat city council that's coming in, and they don't have any good ideas. You saw what happened in New York City. Um, if you listen to the new governor or new mayor's speech, he did not say America once. Um, so they just don't care about America's future and the best for America. I believe that, and and they've demonstrated it. It seems Democrat politicians care more about illegal aliens, criminals over the victims, and thinking that they can spend your money better than you can spend it. So, those are just a few thoughts as I wrap up this episode. But I do appreciate you spending a few minutes, and we'll see you next time.